Okay, lots of clouds again today, although there is some sunlight trying to pop up anyways. And with that in mind, what did I read today? I guess more news about drones will be flying around a lot of places in Canada anyways. How about this one in Ottawa, where they're going to be doing some tests? This one says, downtown Ottawa will be abuzz with drones next week as D&D test detection tech. I wonder if this will accidentally, let's just say, target people just flying their drones for fun and stuff too. It says the Canadian military will turn part of downtown Ottawa into a drone detection testing site the last week of November. From November 24 to 28, the Department of National Defense plans to fly small drones, some under 2 kilograms, over the area of Kent and Spark Street so a select group of 20 tech companies can attempt to detect them. The trials, under the oversight and guidance of a number of military branches, will test how well the company's drone detection prototypes work in a controlled urban environment. One goal is to identify and develop tools that could protect crowds at outdoor gatherings, the department said. Well, that'll be interesting if anyone's actually in that area. I guess you should go take a look to see if you can find, a ton of drones flying around too. It says applicants were asked to develop technology capable of countering a variety of threats, including drone swarms, drones that can fly up to 200 kilometers an hour and weave around buildings, and tethered uncrewed aircraft. The prototypes must be able to protect a 4-block area or a visiting head of state at an outdoor event, for example. There's a $1.75 million in prizes for promising technology, the department said. D&D promised that trials will be conducted safely and no destructive technology will be tested during this phase. One nighttime trial is planned, D&D said. That's kind of interesting how they mentioned the tether drone as well, because as you know, it's been mentioned a lot during the war between Russia and Ukraine, where the tether drones can't be, for example, hacked in traditional ways because it's a hard wire. So it makes you wonder how successful this will be. But again, I guess if anyone's in the area, maybe you could go check it out. And one of the biggest news actually happened last night. It seems like almost half the internet went down again this time, except with a different provider. This time with Cloudflare, there were like a ton of sites that I normally use that weren't operational. It makes you wonder again in terms of how prepared we are when things go down. Like this one says, Cloudflare restores services after outage impacts thousands of internet users. Cloudflare has fully restored its services after an outage on Tuesday at the web infrastructure company prevented thousands from accessing major internet platforms, including X and ChatGPT. The company said the outage that began around 6:30 a.m. ET was caused by an automatically generated configuration file designed to manage potential security threats. The file grew too large and crashed the software system handling the traffic for several Cloudflare services. The company, whose network handles around a fifth of web traffic. Yeah, it's that thing too, where it's one or two companies, for example, that handle most of the internet services. So when they go down, everything does. It says the company said it has started to investigate and has developed a fix, but some customers might still be impacted as it recovers service globally. They do say, for example, there was no signs that this was an attack of any sort, so it probably was just, for example, the files getting way too big and just crashing the servers. But again, it makes you wonder, are we adapt in terms of a lifestyle where when tech goes down, are we prepared to actually manage without it? Okay, so an update about that S23 Ultra repair scenario, huh? So as you know from last time, it sounded like the repair company they sent it to sent it back to me because if you guys remember, they accused me of, quote, tampering with the phone, even though I brought it into official authorized Samsung repair centers and all that, and they approved the goodwill repair because it seems like a clear defect from the manufacturer in terms of the motherboard and so forth. But as you know too, I still have that case ID basically floating around where they escalated to show basically something's wrong. The customer is saying, for example, they brought it into an official authorized repair center to diagnose it. You guys approved it, so what's going on? So with this, I'm not actually going to open it yet because what I'm going to do actually is because if they're accusing someone like me, for example, of, quote, tampering this as if I diagnosed it, I'm going to bring this to the store right now, unopened, that place that actually did the diagnosis, because I went to there first and then afterwards I went to the Samsung store, and I'm going to see what they have to say because to my knowledge, if they are, let's just say, official authorized dealers or, for example, repair centers, then they should be talking to each other. So I want to see what they have to say. Just to make sure, you are like an official Samsung repair center, correct?
We are from insurance, yes.
Yeah, so if you do diagnosis and stuff, that's fine, right? Because you're an official company.
Yes, that's
Okay,
right.
that shouldn't violate like any type of like warranties or
Warranty,
anything.
no.
So that's why I said it's better for me just to come up to you and say it right now, because I was just reading online, if you're an authorized Samsung, you guys should be sharing a database. You can actually phone in and say to the guy like, hey, what
I
do you...
would say just wait until you get any reply back from them for the second ID. If not, then I'll reach out to boss and see what we can do.
But as you can see, he was reluctant at first, where I thought the best case scenario would have been, oh, no problem. I will phone them and say, hey, I did this diagnosis or whatever. If you guys approved this goodwill repair, then go ahead. But he basically told me, okay, well, just wait it out, see what kind of response you get. And if they don't actually, let's just say, follow through, then come back to him and then he'll try to talk to his, I guess, boss or the owner to see what they can do. So that is a little bit uneasing, for example, in terms of the response there. I know if I was the business and I even showed them the email of what they said, they're essentially accusing them of doing something, let's just say, wrong with the phone, fundamentally, if you think about it. For example, alleging it was, quote, tampered with, using unauthorized parts and so forth. So this saga is kind of getting interesting, huh? Because so far, nothing's from my end. I'm doing everything by the book, per se. So someone's not being, let's just say, honest, or it's completely dysfunctional in terms of this whole process so far. All right, see you guys later.